So the other one I want to talk about is what we call in our forms the notice of default, right? So one of the other most frequent questions that we get on a legal hotline is about what does a party do if the other party of the transaction is not fulfilling an obligation that they had agreed to fulfill. So we would often get calls on the hotline saying, hey, the seller had promised to do X, the seller didn't do X. My buyer wants to now understand if they can terminate, or how do they get seller to do X? And if they do terminate, like, would they be able to keep their earnest money? And again, we sort of have to shrug our shoulders because, and Jenny, you're an attorney, so you know this, but part of the analysis about the remedies to a breach of contract is whether or not it was a material breach, right? Did the breaching party, the provision they breached, really go to the heart of the contract? Well, that's not a question that our members should be trying to answer for their clients, right? And it's not a question that we really have enough information about on a legal hotline call to be able to answer for them. So the solution is to spell it out in the forms and to build it out. And that's what we did. So in our forms, anytime a party does not do something they said that they were going to do in the contract, we have a form for that other party to send to them to notify them that they are in default under the agreement and to give them a reasonable period of time to correct that default. And if they don't correct by that reasonable period of time, then our forms are crystal clear that the non-defaulting party can terminate the transaction and keep the earnest money. Right?
So it's not automatic. It's up to the non-defaulting party whether they want to continue on or they're out.
The non-defaulting party has a choice about whether to send that notice. And even once they've sent the notice, they have a choice about whether to terminate. But what we've done is we've taken this out of the hand of judges or arbitrators and mediators, and we've spelled it out in the sale agreement so that there's no ambiguity about what is to happen and when a breach is quote unquote material.
Is there an annotated video on that?
There is an annotated video for the notice of default forms. We have one for the seller and one for the buyer as well.
Lots of education materials out there to help them understand. Nice work.